Surely you have noticed that some of the most common tips about wanting to make a living from video game development are learn to program, learn, are a graphics engine, learn simple mechanics, among other simple but effective tips to understand the video game development little by little. That's advice given to anyone just entering this world of video game development. But when you decide this is going to be your life, you decide you're going to live on video game development? Did I start needing other, more in-depth advice so I could survive and not die trying, such as what kind of games are best sellers? How should I optimize my games? How big should the story be?
Story, or if it really should have a story, or is it just a married game that is only to play and spend the afternoon without transmitting any type of emotion? Start looking for good advice and answers to these questions. But the vast majority of developers who are in this world, who in their time were also juniors and who were starting in this world, will tell you a valuable advice: make a small games. Then without a doubt, one of the best advice they can give you: make a small game. But why? It's simple. It's because you're a junior, you're a beginner, you probably don't have much experience, and you're probably the only one who wants it.
Looking for a project, you don't have a team or competent people to help you, and making a game is a feat. The amount of work that comes with being a game is too much work. You must be a programmer, illustrator, animator, the sonidite, the musician, and if this game is to help you pay the bills, it should also be in marketing, and all those aspects will have more work in each area depending on how big the game is. So if you decided you were going to make a Skyrim 1 GTA or 1.7 Point, well, good surviving on cookies and coffee and under a bridge, you should be aware that you can spend up to 10 years of your life developing a game of this type, or more if you are alone. And this does not mean that you are not going to achieve it, but you have to understand that it takes a lot of work to do. This is very uphill for anyone, and even more so if you do not have experience or a work team to help you, and with no guarantee that those games will be successful in sales. Because of all those high-risk factors, it is always recommended that you make a small game. You will not have done it faster, and if this fails, at least you will not have spent more than 6 months of development on that project. The time it takes to develop it also depends on how big the games you are making are. That's why I recommend it. Make a small game, and when you fail that game, don't feel bad. On the contrary, feel proud of having finished a game. You'll have that experience and more knowledge about video game development, about programs, about the engine, and you'll be able to learn what went wrong. So it's best to start there. Make a small game, you will have more experience and feel good about yourself after finishing it. Of course, because to no one's surprise, most people who start a project don't finish it and abandon them and abandon a game. People make a vicious circle. You start a project and 25% of the development of that project you end up abandoning it. And then you start another project and you go back to the same cycle. You start and abandon. You start and abandon. Being abandoning, project is faster. Abandon the project more that is bigger and more ambitious. When you abandon a project, it is easier to abandon it. Is that simple. So with a small game, you will have more opportunity to finish the game. And as I said, you will feel better. You will feel the satisfaction of having achieved something, of having managed to finish a project. Maybe it doesn't go so well, maybe it doesn't sell anything, but you will feel good about yourself since you are going to make a small game. What kind of small games? You are going to do, the truth is that you can do any games, but the most common are horror games and casual games. These two types of games are perfect for making small games. Many horror games are short, linear stories, or they simply put you in a forest and you must get certain objects like notes. While an ugly monster hunts you and you collect all the notes or escapes from the place, you lose if the monster comes and covers you, and that's it. You have a short horror games, but that will teach you the basics of programming, and from there you start a career as a developer. These types of games are like McDonald's burgers, right? They are not a big thing, but it serves its purpose. But if for X or Y reason you don't want to make a horror game, because even you scare yourself just by seeing the ugly bug, you can make a casual game. These are more for phones, but there are games like this for PC as well. It is simply to make a very simple mechanic and for the game to be based on that, such as clicking on ants that are going to appear on the screen and you graze it and press click on it. Your games are based solely on that mechanic. It is a literally tiny game, tiny but perfect for you to learn about programming. The point of this video is to give you this advice: if you want to learn video game development and you want to get into this world, make a small game.